Words can save you, especially when you don't feel lonely. Because lonely is a system relevant thing. You can never be lonely because when you have solitary confinement, you talk to yourself. You can never even be lonely. You cannot be lonely, but you can feel lonely because you're lonely.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 4 of Catch Your Light Revelations, where I'm so delighted to introduce Michaell Magrutsche. We just met, a few days ago, Michaell? I mean, what an amazing synergistic, grouping and gravitational pull of two amazing spirits, right? So tell us about yourself.
I was born in Vienna, Austria, and I was a sick child. And then when that was the first punch. The second punch I got in school when I was 7. I got 1 year later into school. Couldn't read, couldn't write, couldn't regurgitate, was stuttering. And 40 years ago, they told you, okay, you're dyslexic. They didn't even know about dysgraphia. You're dyslexic and you have, but you still have to do all this stuff. It doesn't matter. Yeah. It's like when you're overweight. It doesn't really matter if you're overweight or not. You just have to still do college or whatever. Yeah. So anyway, and then I never could do it. They have basically no education, 8 years, and I had to repeat 2 years of school because in Europe they don't pull you with you. You have to repeat the class before you go to the next level. And then I started music because music saved me, because art saves so many other lessons. Because think you want to kill yourself, then you hear a song and they sing about your situation. You say, oh, perhaps I'm not just that cretin that they all say.
Oh yeah, brother. I mean, we talked about Shane Coyson in the previous conversation we had, and one of his freaking spoken words saved me, brother.
Exactly.
The music and the words and the sincerity.
Bible saves you. Buddhism saves you. Words can save you, especially when you don't feel lonely. Because lonely is a system relevant thing. You can never be lonely because when you have solitary confinement, you talk to yourself. You can never even be lonely. You cannot be lonely, but you can feel lonely because you're alone. You want to have a partner. You want to have another person to. Because it's so magical to dance with other people, with other one-on-one humans.
Yeah.
That is everybody's a one-on-one of human of 8 billion people. That's what science says, because you have different fingerprints, different DNA, different ears. But what science doesn't say is that look at your own family, that every single human has a different life perspective on life. All your brothers, sisters don't think the same as you. And they should, right?
And they're your kin. They're literally
together all the time. They should be all Republicans or
exactly.
Democrats. They should be all this. They should all like the color red. They should like all this.
The Creator provided us willpower.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, to choose, and I think that's what's beautiful about it. Yeah.
And he made us one-on-one.
Yeah,
because if he made mistakes, if he says, "Oh, all men are dirty, all women want the man's money, all gays are like this," if that was the case, then the system would make perfect sense. We to judge everybody. Okay, all the same things. Which one is the best for me? Perfect. Would be perfect. But nature may have other dream and made us all one-on-one. And we just think, oh, it's easier to just generalize all men, all women, all cows, all monkeys.
Well, that's
No,
easy. That's lazy. That's the
it's laziness,
societal way right
exactly.
now. Our society is so addicted to laziness. I think whole nother conversation. We're comfortable.
Yeah,
We're too comfortable. Tell us about
yeah.
your books. Tell us about your books that you've written.
I wrote actually 5, and
Because you know, by the way, you know I'm a publishing company now, right? I'm
yeah,
the
I know.
CEO and founder of my publishing company, so I'm ready for
Yeah,
you, brother.
yeah. So I've 2 more coming out, and then the other thing is, what was the question? My neurodiversity. That's my neurodiversity. What was the question?
Tell us about your books that you've written.
Oh, the books. Yeah, the books are all art related. They're all art because art saved my life. And by writing it down, I actually did it not for other people. I did it for other people also, but primarily for me to understand all my notes that I made. I made a lot of notes and I wrote them down. And then I wrote one screenplay that is from, because I worked with Robert Evans. I co-produced with him, who did The Godfather in Chinatown.
Oh, I
I,
wasn't aware of.
no. It's also that I was, Kevin, I
Yeah.
was. It's
That
not
was then, this
now.
is now. We live in the now, right?
Exactly. We
Eckhart
live
Tolle
it now.
taught us that. Exactly.
And so then, and you asked me the past. So then I did another book, 300 paintings in 3 days. I actually made 300 paintings in 3 days and documented the process. And I was thinking, for example, in that context, that I thought, I'm gonna know 100 perhaps, but then it's gonna be really hard. And actually the best was the last 50 were
Yeah.
actually the best. I thought the last 50, if it's only 250, I'm not even worried about it. But the last 50 were actually, when I go back and look at it, the most creative,
Yeah.
So that taught me a lot about art creation.
Because you were evolving
did.
during that. I think you were evolving during that process.
Yeah. I'm
You were
always
actually getting beneath the beauty of yourself and deep into that
exactly.
inner soul, and that's where the magic
Mhm.
happens, brother.
Mhm.
So, okay, now we know
The
about your books.
journey.
We know about the journey. It's all about the journey, man. It was always
Yeah, and then what about the smart of art, which is basically segregating the art product, which becomes as soon as you're finished with an art product, music or anything, it becomes a commodity and it's treated like a regular bicycle or anything you want to do, a suit. It's like, does anybody want that suit, that artwork, that music? And if not, then you're not an artist. Even though if I make a suit and I'm brilliant and it doesn't sell, I'm still a tailor. But if I am an artist and it's not going to go anywhere, oh, it's a hobby. You're never an artist. If my art blows everybody away, everyone's like, oh my God, Kevin, you're the greatest artist. You're the
this
greatest
amazing
publisher.
artist. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you.
If you don't, if you publish one book and it goes viral, you're the best publisher in the world. All of a sudden, everybody wants you. If not, because it's so.
I'm not sure there's any publishing companies out there whose the first book is by the author of the book is the namesake of the company. My book, Cast Your Light, which by the way, it's not about me. But yeah, brother. So there's another question I wanted to ask you because we know about your books and we know about you, and I think we are very inspired by you already. So tell us what one of one means. You've always talked about one of one.
That means, and I think I said it already, is nature made us 101. Systems that, humans are collective creator animals. Why collective? Because our fit is synergistic, not hierarchical. So we fit best when we find, like you and I found each other and we can dance with each other. And there's no misunderstanding. There's no, oh, Kevin, why did you say that? Or, So it's a dance and it synergistically fits. Well, in system is everything is, you got to learn the trade first. Then we got to give you an examination. Then when you do that, I mean, you know that you're in the military, it's the same. It's like, if you're not fitting into that system.
Oh, you don't have to
structure.
fit in the Marine Corps. You can just go against the grain in the Marine Corps. They don't care. They actually want you to go against the grain. The good leaders let you go against the grain.
I wasn't aware of that.
I'm being facetious. That's bullshit. Yeah. You better do what the rules tell you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So anyway, and so I'm explaining the thing. So we are one of one because nature made us. So the science confirms that with fingerprints, DNA, eyes, ears, whatever. And then the perspective like I said, with the family, right? The family, you have an own perspective. Doesn't matter where you're raised, rich, poor, your own looking at life. Poor people can totally look as rich, and they can totally be in the squalor and hating themselves. I think, as a matter of fact, there's in psychology is an example, I think, of two New York sons of very well, twins, actually twins. And the one was becoming and the father was alcoholic. So the one twin was a total alcoholic and was basically on the street. And the other one almost got prizes, almost a Nobel Prize or something. And they said, why are you so different? Because you're not the same. You're
Well,
not,
twins.
because you're a man,
twins.
you're not the same. Yeah.
You
So
know,
you're one of one.
I have a fraternal twin. I don't know if you knew
Yeah.
that. She's 8 minutes older than me. I think I told you that
Yeah.
already. And it's kind of like
She's
we
different.
are.
She's totally different, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're connected, but
we
she's
shared
different.
the womb. We shared a womb together.
Exactly.
I mean, how much closer can you get than that? We were conceived at the same moment in time. The spark was given by the creator, and we were created. And I think what happens is, I think our society, we're so busy looking at the beauty that we fail to look beneath the beauty. I've told you about this.
Yeah.
I want to get into your heart and mind before I can observe your beauty. I can see the true beauty in your heart and mind.
Yeah.
And it's artistic. It's an artistic thing to say.
Yeah.
But isn't that truly where we're connected? We're connected at the spiritual level, the energistic level, the synergy. That's how the synergy forms.
100%. And that's 101. That's not a generalization.
Yeah.
That is not, this can never be a generalization.
Mhm.
Because in nature, every animal, how many dogs you have had? Every dog, every cat is different.
Mhm.
And we pretend, no, oh, this is just an animal. I mean, when I was young, nobody gives a shit about the animal. They were killing him. Oh, it's an animal. Just shoot it. Oh, it's sick. And today we go to the vet and stuff.
Mhm.
And nothing is right or wrong, but I'm just saying the perception of what it is. Every living being is one of one.
Yeah.
And if you feel guilty about that,
I think, what about every living thing being one of one? I mean, look at the trees, look at the insects, look at the, everything. It really is.
Yeah, it's one of one. Because every rose doesn't look the same, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you get in this and accept that, then you will look actually at the things.
Mm-hmm.
The moment you see everything is one of one, every time you generalize, and this is what you and I and we all want to update systems. Because the system, when I look generalize and say, look at all the men, all the gay men that are black. When I do this generalization, I never look at the uniqueness. I look at the color, the sexual lifestyle, and the gender. What the? Yeah. It's like it's impossible to judge a human by gender, race, and sexuality.
I mean, they're distractions. They're distractions.
The distraction of the one.
It's smoke and mirror. It's like smoke and mirrors, like these politicians we see nowadays. These elected leaders, which are not leaders, these elected officials, are smoke and mirrors they're using against our country, and they're using it against us. And I wish people could understand that. If they could understand this one of one thing and understand that one of one is powerful, but one of many, and a synergy that can happen there, it just could be so powerful.
Exponential. That's the human potential that we are one of ones. And when we live like one of ones, we actually can see, which we do with Mark McCormick, right? We do think when you discuss with him, our groups, when we talk to each other, we actually can experience the importance of us, of our individuality, one of one. Not, oh, you were a doctor and you, no. Mm-hmm. Just when you talk, because communication, human-centric dialogue is a dance. Yeah. You talk and everybody contributes, and you open your own perspective that you have from nature, your one-on-one perspective. You open that, and I open your perspective. Doesn't mean I'm right. Doesn't mean you are right. Exactly. It's just everybody is right because we are a sliver of God, the whole, right? We are a reflection of the sliver of all, because that's why we say God is in us, right? Or nature is in us, or universe is in us, whatever you put the vernacular on it. Mm-hmm. And so the more I'm dancing with the individual one-on-one humans, the more I get wise, the more I get aware, the more, oh, I didn't know about this. Wow. Oh, wow. And again, it's not about, oh, I better read 20 books to know something. No, you don't know anything because you experience knowledge. The knowledge that you get by dancing with another human is exponentially to any book you can read. You get, they can give you wisdom, they can give you a thing, but it's very generic, because also the books are not made for one-on-one. Otherwise, then for everyone, human would be one book. They're made for a group, for generalization. That's why religion is very good. Religions are a very good system. They wanted to help people. And then they become they created icons, which is artificial, God's thing. And then they generalize. This is all Christians need to do this. All Muslims need to do this. And this is very, very dangerous, because
it's limiting. It's limiting. It is limiting.
You know why it's limiting? But that this is the case. Well, why? Because when I generalize, I ignore your one-on-oneness, Kevin. And then when you are in my community, where I say you're a guy, yeah, and I deny your one-on-oneness, then the generalization becomes more important than you. And the system can never, any generalization can never be more than you, because you have only one-on-one. So a generalization is always distorted when it comes in the context of you, the one-on-one. So that's why one-on-one is not anything spiritual, religious. It's what is humanity, because I don't even know how one-on-one is when you're dead. But on this planet, one-on-one.
I do.
Yeah, no, but I'm not, everybody is like you. That's your one-on-oneness. You have access, I don't. So, I could, but I'm not interested in having that access right now. I'm interested in what it is to be human. That is my interest. What is it? Maximum leaning in what is humanity? Because that's what we're focusing now. When I'm dead, I'm going to explore all the spirituality and all the religions and everything. But right now, I'm one-on-one on this planet, and explore that.
Well,
if I go and say, yeah, go ahead.
If it makes you feel any better, when you pass away, your physical body no longer, it remains, it erodes, but that energy that's within your body right now, it returns to the source and becomes that true one energy.
Yeah.
And then it's reassigned somewhere else. Like my good friend Neil Donald Walsh, I had a podcast with him. He said that when we pass, your spirit just changes addresses, and it's beautiful, and it's true. I truly believe that. Yeah.
Life is not an finite thing. Life is a process.
Yeah.
You get burned, you come into this physical reality, and 7 years you need to figure out what is it to be human, what is it to eat. That's why 18 months you're connected with your mother, right? When you're born, when you after birth, 18 months you're connected. And why do you think you start after 18 months? And the proof is you start after 18 months, you throw food on the wall, you see your impact, you start crying, you taste your oneness. And then, that's not exactly 18 months, but around 18 months, you segregate, you find, there's more than me being mother. That is my one-on-oneness. And then you experience till 7. And then they say, okay, you open more, because you want to be a human of this earth, not of just your family, of just the grade school or the high school or the university. A lot of people get stuck there, but you contribute to humanity. And you need to be with as many people as possible, so you find synergistically what fits to you, where you can act in flow, in beauty, and actually experience heaven on earth.
Yeah, it's a flow, it's natural. Yeah. And it's funny because when you say that, I think about this thing I say is that before I'm anything else, I'm KJ Carlio. Even before that, I am energy.
Yeah.
I am divinity in human form. I truly look at myself as that. And I'm not saying I'm God. You know what I mean when I say that. But okay, so I happen to served 20 years in the U.S. Marine Corps. I'm a CEO of a publishing company. I'm an author. Yeah. I want that to trickle out. Let that trickle out. Yeah. That's not KJ Carlio. That's not me. If I want to connect with you,
that's your image.
I want you to get beneath my beauty. If you consider me beautiful, I don't know. I'm pretty handsome. I want you to get beneath my beauty and touch my soul.
The model. First, the model. I want to see you.
That's the goal, man. That's the goal for me. That's always the goal. It's like,
no, I trust my 6 senses. I'm not going by logic. I don't look at you as a woman or a man. I look at you as a human, a one-on-one human. Yeah. That's why it's so powerful. Because even if I see a woman, the most beautiful woman, I look at it as I always look with my 5 senses. That's why you have 6 senses. 6 because you resonate with something that helps you synergistically to fit. and you talk to the most beautiful woman, to the most beautiful guy, or the most ugliest guy, and you never. I meet people on the bus that are homeless, they are whatever. I never look at them and said, "Oh, homeless, I cannot talk to him."
Yeah,
I
good, man.
always,
Good.
I
That's
always
good.
acknowledge,
Mhm.
look in the eyes, acknowledge, "Hey, how you doing?" And not forcing it ever.
Yeah,
If I
yeah.
feel that person doesn't want to look at me, let him not look at me.
It's just another human being, brother. I mean, I've had experiences before I've done that. And it's like people around me be looking at me like, what's wrong with this guy? I'm like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah,
That's a fellow human being you're watching suffering on the street. Now, we
exactly.
can't always help. Again, you can give time,
Yeah.
talents, and treasure, right?
Yeah.
I give them my time, my talent,
Yeah.
and my treasure. If I have some money, I'll give some money. But I think
Sure.
there's more value in giving your time and talent.
Yeah.
That's what we
Yeah,
need to
because
do as
that
a
word,
society.
if somebody throws you a 20 or a handy, and another person says, "Hey, I saw your art that this really transformed me. I read your words that really transformed me." It's
Yeah.
priceless. That is
Exactly,
priceless,
exactly,
right?
exactly. Like in the military service, these people say, wow, Gunner, you have a lot of medals, or wow, you're a gunnery sergeant and you did 20 years. My goal is to become a gunnery sergeant in U.S. Marine Corps because of one person. That's R. Lee Ermey from Full Metal Jacket. For those of you that don't know that, I wanted to become a gunnery sergeant. He emulated what I envisioned as a gunnery sergeant. So I'm not just a Marine, I'm a gunnery sergeant. But again, like I said, I'm KJ Carly before all of that.
Yeah.
But let it trickle out. And it's like, okay, the medals and everything are great, but you know what's the most valuable thing to me? And you're going to love this, brother. When I have one of my Marines that are no longer on active duty, their parents call me and thank me for what I did for their child.
Mhm.
There's no medal that shines brighter than that.
Ever. There's no
There's
money,
no
nothing.
stripe that holds more weight than that. There's nothing you can put on my
No.
shoulder, my chest, or anything that's going to hold more weight than that. That's why I led the way I led. I led with empathy. I was an intrusive leader, but I intruded.
Yeah.
Where did I intrude to? I saw beneath their beauty, and I got into their heart and mind, and they're still with me. They'll always be with me.
Yeah.
It's a commitment I made. Just like Mark when he says he'd
Yeah.
never abandon anybody, I'll never abandon my Marines.
Yeah.
That's
It's-
that one of
it's-
one. So do I get the one of one thing now? Because I
Yeah,
saw
you
them as
get
one
it.
of ones.
You get it. Yeah.
I found their talents. I was able to find their talents, and I was, they're struggling with some situation. As a gunnery sergeant, you're meant to mentor them.
Yeah.
You're meant to. But I took a little bit farther. I didn't have a father growing up.
Yeah.
So what do I
I
do?
had a
I have to
father that was not present. I had a father that
yeah, I
wasn't
had
present.
awesome brothers and sisters, amazing community that I grew up in. So thank you guys. And what I'll tell you is this: I said I had a choice to make. Do I continue to be this guy that didn't have a father growing up, or do I become that? Do I become the light? Right? I see a dark place. What do? Do I go look for the light, or do I become the light? I became the light for those Marines. And that's what it's all about. It's not about the medals. It's not about the stripes and all that stuff.
No, the system relevant stuff is all BS. It's all hype.
Well, people thought I was nuts because they didn't understand my leadership style. I don't think, people reflect and all that kind of stuff, and they say, why would you lead like that? Well, why wouldn't you lead like that?
Yeah.
I got in trouble twice in the Marine Corps for being a leader. As crazy as that sounds. Not big trouble.
Yeah.
Because they didn't understand it.
But even that the kid can give you shit about that.
Is
because it's general. The system never says what normal is. It only knows what not normal is, and or when it feels it's not normal, it say, "Oh, Kevin, you did this," or "Michael, you did this." You're not supposed to do this in here, right?
Just like our institution, we have rules and regulations. Our institution, I talk about in our bookcast, Cast Your Light. I say, those rules and regulations there to serve you. You're serving the country. You're
supposed to serve you, not
right
you.
There. Yeah, it's right there in black and white.
Not being a tool, manipulation tool. But people, and it's not system is for everyone. So when you live in Maine, all the people in Maine should be treated the same by the system. The rich, the poor, the right, the left, everybody. And that's what the updated system is. But when it does it, even when it does that and puts you in categories and generalization, it can really do that job. When it says, yes, everyone that lives in Maine, which is small, I'm saying that, or Switzerland, it's a small area, then you take care of the people that are a part of your system, like the Marines. Supposed to take care of themselves. Now the system says something else. They're not allowing that anymore. So not everybody goes home. So that that too. This money is a money issue.
Yeah, there's some smoke and mirrors going on with a lot of bureaucrats and a lot of
and they need to be updated. They need to be updated too, because one of the finest thing in the world are artists and soldiers. Soldiers that are DNA driven to protect the tribe, and artists that are DNA driven to live in poverty but make beauty.
Yeah.
Make us heaven on earth. So the soldiers protect us to have heaven on earth, and the artists create the other part. We are the feminine, you guys are the masculine. And that's why art and soldier works together. You and artist.
So artistry and soldierly virtue, I would say, what we call soldierly virtue, the virtues that every Marine, sailor, not just the Marines, Marine, sailor, airman, Space Forcean, whatever, I forgot what they're called. They live up to these virtues.
Any nurses, firefighter. I agree.
Yeah.
Because they're driven by DNA. Because why would anybody do it? It's not like you can't do anything, because today you have to have an education to be a Marine. You have to have an education to be a nurse. It's not that you just say, okay, there's no other job, just become a nurse. You can't. This all, every license and everything, you have to jump to 100 hoops to do that.
There's skill sets required. They make it too expensive, and it's almost like it's intentional. These people are yearning to serve their God. They want to serve their God. They want to serve their community. They want to serve fellow human beings. These other one-of-ones, they want to serve them. But I think the system has made it in such a way that, like, they want to get rich off of it. They want to.
When you have a heart attack, when they did this with all the health too. That, once it's defined as a problem. Then we need.
Well, that's the thing. They're leading with the word problem. What did I say about the word problem? I don't believe in problems. I believe in challenges.
I don't either.
This is a problem. This is a problem. This is a challenge. Your hands are open. They're casted out, and you're ready to look for the solution. A little bit of the way, if we changed, not a change, but improvement, because even change, right? Even a rotting apple is changing. I say that in my book. Update, just something other than change, because even a rotting apple is changing. Let's improve the apple. Let's update the apple. Give it to the teachers that deserve the higher pay. Give it to the starving children in our own country, which is unacceptable. That's art. Is that not art in itself? Let's find leaders that lead forward like that and actually are willing to.
And exemplary leaders, not leaders that do saying, oh, if I give that apple to them, I get more props than I give it the apple to. I'm not going to give the apple to Kevin. I give it to the hot chick on the ranks here, because then everybody will give me attention.
Imagine if we lived our life like that, lived like our life like the sun who casts its rays of light. It doesn't look for a target, right? There's no target. It's just natural. When you can become natural like that and flow like that, that's when you really get this one of one, I think. I'm kind of still learning about it, but that's why it hit me the way it did, because it's like one of one. That's important. So here's my second question for you, brother. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Are you going to co-write one of one with me?
Yeah, one of one. Yeah, I write that. Always right. Yeah, one of one. I love one of one.
I want to write a book with you called One of One.
Yeah. Because one of one is always bringing us back. It's for every human, because it's not for just the man, for the woman, for the suppressed or the rich. It's for every human. One of one, because every woman, the one of one is the.
You're saying it right now. We just talked about earlier. So the one of one is not unlike the sun itself, where it shines its lights, right? It shines its light. It doesn't aim for anything. It just casts it across the entire planet. It might take time to get across. You can sit in the corner. You can sit in the corner and do nothing, because you see it in India, right? You see people, and India has that spiritual awareness, but it doesn't really matter. You are one of one. You are part of it. You do the. I know when I go on podcasts with 3 people or 4 people, and this one person is always there, and I go repeatedly. And when the one person that doesn't even say anything is not there, it's a different story. Because we're always synergistic. We always we talked about that, right? When you bro. I mean, we're all connected.
You can't repeat the moment, and you can't repeat the moment. If you say, "Oh, my recording didn't work, Michael. Let's do it again," it would be good. But it would be totally different. It would be totally different podcast. And people don't understand that every moment you exist is a one of one. See, the one of one goes in so many even if you have a publishing company, it needs to be a one of one. If it is like every publishing company,
no, brother, it's one of one. We've talked about it. Trust me. We are going to revolutionize what a book publishing company should be. Remember, I told you we want to expand here pretty soon. I've gotten some people willing to invest in me. Remember, I told you about how I want to have a printing press and a bindery. on site here in Texas, I intend to have a bindery and printing press because these books will be printed in the United States of America. Why do I say that? Oh, he's anti-China, he's anti-South America. No, I'm not anti, I'm pro-America. There are
You're also pro-human. Why would you spend all that pollution to deliver books to raw materials to China and back books?
Precisely, plus the shipping costs and all that stuff. Think about it. It's just, to me, it's like
not
second nature.
Cost. It's not even the cost. If you have all the money,
is a cost. Time's a cost too. So.
All the pollution, all the it's like it's not effective. Effective is if your books you can actually sell it. Everybody could just produce a good quality physical book and could do it in any state. So you don't have to drive anywhere. Just like, hey, Amazon needs it. Boom. Here's the file, the print file. Printed in that very detailed. They're systemically really good. Tell me this is the paper, the weight from the paper, the font, the style, the font size, and you can tell there's every publisher that sells your book, or distributes your book. And it goes all. I don't want to ship. I don't want to see one freaking truck, 18-wheeler. Full of books. I'm sorry, I don't want to see that. Unless you just uncovered the Holy Grail. But
that's the goal.
But I don't want. I don't want to see.
I hear you. I hear exactly what you mean. I feel that. I don't just hear it. I feel it. And now I'll make a promise. My promise is that our company will produce high quality books, and the books will change your lives. But not change, improve your lives. Remember, we don't use the word change. We don't use the word change.
It's a viewpoint. There's we're not here to change people. We're here to make them aware. And the awareness bomb, you know that. My thing is awareness bombs. You can't go back. Once you know your husband cheated on you, you cannot go and forget that. Even if you forgive him. It's very hard to
forgetting is trust me, I have a you'll see my book. I have a whole chapter, your forgiveness. Actually, it's about my father and all this stuff, but you can read that in the book. Very
but you never forget it. It's still you forgive it.
Actually, I have forgotten. But you know why I have forgot? Because I forgave to remember. I found a way to forgive him in such a way that it became a new memory of my father. It's in the book. I'm gonna make you buy the book so you can read it. I'm giving you a copy, of course, brother. Okay, so tell us all, where we can read more about one-on-one, what being one of one. Like again, we haven't co-written this book yet. We're going to co-write one. It's going to be called one of one.
One-on-one is in literally every of my podcasts. I talk about one-on-one because it's the big arrow, the pathfinder, where it's like you want to be a human, you want to be 100% human. You want to experience your one-of-oneness, your superpower, not to be get a corner office in New York and be a CEO, but to get the full human-centric experience of what it is to human. You gotta look at your one-of-oneness, and you gotta know that you're human-centric because only human centricity allows the one-of-oneness. System relevance is about hierarchy, linear thinking, first one, then two, then three. But human in nature are non-linear. It starts with 3, goes to 1, and then it goes to 8. Whatever it needs at that time in this moment, that's how we work. And you know that when women are pregnant and they have kids, they have 3 kids, the woman can't even think, I need to do this first, that. 3 kids, animals, everything goes on. She has to spin the plates. She has to become a super leader. She has to spin all the plates because she doesn't say, I like this kid. The other one, oh, screw it, it can die. No, nobody's. So you spin all the plates, and that's when you're in your one-on-oneness, and you actually experience your one-on-oneness. Because I don't know how I could have done. I thought my husband was here to help me, and he got sick, and I have to do all them kids and everything. I have to fix all this.
It's up to you now. You said earlier about my shirt. It is up to you. This is my second book title. It is up to you. That's inspired by Marcus Aurelius's Meditations, the Emperor's Handbook. He says it's up to me, and I'm telling you it's up to you because we're one of one, right? So no one's coming to save you. I learned that as a young child.
Never, ever.
So you save yourself. You become the light.
Yourself. To say, Oh, we have so many
There's
problems.
people that are willing to give a nudge. Don't get me wrong. I'm not being indecent by saying
Even
that.
not. No, but they're not.
Yeah.
Trump or Biden are
Mhm.
not solving the issue that America has
They
currently.
don't know what the issue is anyway, brother.
They
don't
don't
know what the
because
people.
they're just talking heads.
They're not listening
They're
to their
talking.
people. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they don't know what the thing, and elections are not a privilege. I hate, see, this is outdated too. The awareness of elections to say, because we know that the 80% of the people in the thing are all medium. They're leaning a little bit to right, a little bit to the left.
Yeah.
But they're forced to give all the left, all to the right, and they have to accept all the laws from
again, what did we say earlier? I told you, I said it's a
Yeah.
lesser of two evils. It's unfair to my citizens. You know, that Constitution behind me, that represents human beings, that document right there. So what I see is what I've seen, just observed since my time at it. In 10 years, I've been retired. They're given the choice of the lesser of two evils, and that's not fair to my people. I want them to have a clear choice, because when they have the lesser of two evils and they vote for one of those two, Democrat, Republican, whatever it is, what still remains? Some degree of evil remains. It's not fair to the citizens. And I wish people understood that. But I think if we resonate with them and they start to understand that they truly are one of one, and we can get into their hearts and minds beneath the beauty, always beneath the beauty, that's where we have that's where, not a revolution, a revival.
One of our friends told us, it's not even the lesser evil. It's now you have to vote between. It's like voting for in New York for in the 80s for two mafia families, either or. And if you vote for the wrong and they figure out, you might be dead tomorrow for voting. So that's how freedom is. That's what a privilege it is.
It's
you vote
connections.
left.
What I would like to see, I have some people watching the elections very closely this year. You know why. So it's going to be a clown show, and it's not fair to the American people as well. That bothers me. That really bothers me, because we'll see someone's going to be elected the next president of the United States, right? And that's the way it comes down to. It's exciting to see. You know, I wish we can get a president.
It's exciting to see, and also it's exciting how it's also sad how people are pushed. People are really so in the fight flight because it's never enough. We said the financial principles, right? That are all also outdated. Again, a system outdated, needs to be updated. And it has no counterweight. So right or wrong, that's a counterweights to balance, right? It's all about balance.
Yeah.
And it's
the yin and the yang. It's a yin and the yang.
Exactly.
Right? It's the way, as we call
100%.
it. The way.
That's the way of the world, right? Everything has waves are ups and downs. It's like tide and flood. So what you got? What is the opposite of it's never enough, no matter what I do? What is the opposite? We don't know. That's why I try to drop those seeds in here, because I trust that humans come up with solutions by just with their one-on-oneness. Because
but not in their current. But that's the thing, though. With the current condition of our society, planetary, across a planet, brother, are, like I said, I mean, I see these. As I transition out of the military, I continue to see these dimly lit halos and tattered wings. We need a hero to come down and add light to those halos, because before we do that, brother, I'm worried, man. I mean, like,
but I'm not the hero that brings light. I'm a one light person.
Well, we all are. We all are. We just got to find our capes. Let's acknowledge our capes.
Yeah. The thing is, when you drop 101, that allows the individual to actually use that and say, okay, the 16-year-old kid, you say, hey, did you know that you are one of 8 billion people? How special you are. Because and that's not made by other people, by the wherever in what country you live. That's made by the nature, by God nature. That is, you made one of one. That person, like music did to us, right? Perhaps prevents you from killing yourself. And doing suicide. We have the highest suicide rate of all men right now. Men have never killed themselves in such a massive thing. Yeah. And so if they would get, because the men are more system element, they can do more in the logic and reason. If they would get that every man is a one-on-one, no matter what, and not saying,
we need you. We need you on this planet. We need you to exist.
Exactly. And that's when they get that. Oh my God, it would be.
You know why
It-
you know why your one of one resonates with me so much, brother? I'm going to share something too that I haven't shared with very many people. My mother isn't living anymore, right?
yeah,
She's passed, and I forgave her too for the things, the
yeah,
way I was brought up. You know, we had circumstances. I won't go into it during this call,
yeah,
but you know, she told me I was authentic and unique.
yeah,
She didn't use the term one of one, but when she told me that, it kind of stuck. And I think you can see the way I conduct
yeah,
myself. I know I'm
yeah,
a one of one. I am
yeah,
authentic. You're authentic. We can all be authentic.
yeah,
Just be you.
yeah.
Just be that.
Authentic is not clear enough. The one-on-one is authentic means okay. Those are 5 authentic guys. That doesn't mean a lot. But each
Mhm.
one is a one-on-one, has power, has
Yeah.
weight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you know, say we all unique. That's just wipes up. It's dirted. The word is already dirted because when everybody's unique means one-on-one, but you don't get it in the context when you say
Yeah.
the long ugly word one-on-one is a harsh word. One-on-one
Mhm.
is it's easier to say unique, but
Yeah. Yeah.
I choose the one-on-one because that makes it crystal clear without any misunderstanding that you're one of one. And that's why I say even science proves that. It's not like I make it up and science says, no, there's a lot of people have the same DNA. There's a lot of people have the same eyes. No, no, no. Everybody's one on one.
Mhm.
And that's why that is a real I don't know, it's almost like, and it's not, I didn't make the word up because you know one-on-one is a word. It's not
Mhm.
like I didn't make it up. I'm just saying we have to focus on this word with all our uniqueness that we are and all our humans to see the humans in a different light as not as a generation. Oh, it's like all
Yep.
girls.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
it's
Yep.
like it's all the doctors, all the things. There's doctors that are healers and there are healers that are quacks. You know,
Mhm.
it's just there is no generalization.
Mhm.
Insurance companies are horrible. No, there's good insurance company and bad. There's
Good
everything is
cops,
both.
bad cops, good politicians,
Exactly.
bad
Yeah.
politicians.
I mean, all of a sudden,
Yeah.
all the cops are bad now. All
Mhm.
soldiers are bad now
Mhm.
because one soldier was crazy or one fireman got crazy. It's like insane. And you know that because the attention. This is something I heard. I hope it's right. I heard it from Germans, from a German scientist.
Mhm.
He says in the digital world, uh, attention getting, with AI and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
all the
Yeah. Yeah.
engagement, the attention getting thing of marketing or whatever has surpassed petrochemicals in the physical world.
Mhm.
The money of attention getting has surpassed that attention getting costs has
Makes sense.
surpassed petrochemicals in the physical world.
Mhm.
And attention getting, and this is now I love that because I've written about attention getting, and attention getting is where is attention when you get attention in nature. You get attention when somebody gives you a growls and says,
Mhm.
I give you
Mhm.
attention. Hey, Kevin, come closer.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Or when I wanna get have you when I
Yeah.
have a romantic thing, so I'm getting my feathers up or whatever, and I show off.
Mhm.
So those are the natural attentions, right? Either stay away, be aware. I'm crawling, I'm barking, I'm gonna do it, or that's to attention to give attention that the other person pays attention to you
Yeah.
and is aware. So to the awareness, there's no other attention.
Mhm.
There's no other attention. Even
Yeah.
flowers
Yeah.
change to get attention. They
Mhm.
change the color. The colors of flowers is for attention.
Our body
Flowers wouldn't have
bleeds when we're wounded to get attention. Hey, you're freaking
exactly.
cut. You might want to pay attention to that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so attention is in system relevance in the digital world. Is attention? It has no because it's a big attention is a big resolve. So if the lion bites you, that has a lot of impact. If you get hot with that girl, with that partner, that has a lot of impact. That is
Mhm.
an intense thing. The attention has nothing on the web, has nothing.
Mhm.
Oh, I get a like. Oh, I'm having more followers. It's
Yeah, it doesn't really
nothing.
mean anything.
It's irrelevant. They
Yeah.
have made attention because system relevant reverse engineering of what we are, what humans are, have totally let out the air of the tires of attention. So
Mhm.
attention has zero thing, but has surpassed, because they think it's the money, because it's all manipulation. It has surpassed the money. People pay money, more money than the petrochemicals that actually help us and we can use and we can create whatever.
Mhm.
They put more in attention lying and deceiving.
Yeah.
Because, you know, a lot of attention also, once we're with us, you got to have a superstar. You have the best podcast, and only one podcast 1% of podcasts makes 98% of the money.
Yeah.
You know, it's just it makes all the money of podcasting. 1% makes 98% of the podcasting. This is money that comes in, and the same is with viral videos and anything. It's just. You know what?
I mean, I call this Cast Your Light Revelations for a reason, because it came to me as a revelation.
Yeah.
The idea of this podcast came to a revelation. Like, wait, I'm an author. I own a company. I have something to say. I know there's folks out there that have something to say that's beautiful. Let me get them on the show. Yeah. And what I can do with that is that it's a revelation. People think, oh, that's religious. No, it's not a revolution. Is help people understand something that they may not understand. Let's cast light into the darkness.
Yeah. And that comes from the one-on-oneness.
Yeah.
Because we are one. Because otherwise, there would be only certain holy people. They would know. Nobody else would be able to do it. There was one Jesus, one Buddha, one this, and that nobody else would do it. No, that because people stopped dancing with each other, and learning and saying it's not system element. It's not right or wrong. It's not about that. It's about where did we say right or wrong in this talk? Yeah. Not once did we say, Kevin, you're wrong. No, you didn't understand that. No, Kevin. Let me tell you that a little bit better. No, because or reference other people. You know, they're used to bombard you because you reference other people. Yeah. Yeah. You know, George Bernard Shaw said this, and the Nobel Prize thing. I hate him. Yeah. I can't stand him. I have stop. Say what you say. Be your 101. Not tell me what this person said or that. Yeah. What Trump says or Biden. I was just going to say, these politicians, they, you know, if I ever run for office, I'm not saying I'm going to, I might, I probably will. I think you know that. I'm not going to spend no energy on my competitors, right? Or who is running against me. Because guess what? My legion will take care of that. I want to focus on the people I want to vote for me. Yeah. Right. Is that not one of one? Because they are one of one. Exactly. And each one of those relationships I can forge, and I get beneath the beauty into their heart and mind, because I have a responsibility to represent them, just say as a congressperson, right? How can I represent them if I don't even know them? Exactly. It's relationships. And even if you have, let's say you get only 1,000 people or 100,000 people, and they are happy, and you're not winning because you only have 100 or 1,000 people, it doesn't matter. You did what you need to do. That's a victory in my mind. Yeah. It's a victory. It's not about it's never about the outcome. It's not the outcome. It's never filling. It's a win-win situation. I get to forge more relationships through the process. Yeah. How fun would it be if we had access to Biden and Trump in the first seconds when they hear that they won? Not the losing, but the winner. I want to get to them and ask them and say, how do you feel like right now? And they will probably say, you know, all that weight falls on me because it forces me not to be free. It forces me to more into my ivory tower and act on promises that I gave that might not be right. That's the reality check, brother. That's the reality check. That's why we need to. It's never about the outcome. It's never about the $1 million. It's never about the outcome. It's all about the journey. I don't understand these politicians. You know what I see is, I think I told you before, I see a bunch of politicians that think they know how to lead. This country truly needs leaders that understand politics. In the way I look at it. But they have to be exemplary. They have to be exemplary. They have to be one of one. I think whoever this person is needs to be one of one. And the reason why is because that authenticity, it gives you the ability to reach beneath the beauty and get to the hearts and minds of your constituents, whoever you want to vote for, because you're voting, because it's a relationship. Yeah. It's a two-way party. It's a two-way dance, right? It's a dance. You know, you don't just get elected and go up there, but that's exactly what's happening. These guys are not hitting a nail on the head with this, from what I've observed. Yeah. And the synergy goes exponentially when you dance, because in the dance, you see, oh, Kevin is really strong. I'm never going to want to fight him. He said, hey, Michael, when he plays chess, he has a mindset. I don't play chess, but I'm saying, if you say that, because we're playing, you learn so much about the other with your six senses, about the
Yeah.
other person. So you don't have to go say, I'm trying to do a thing with Kevin, and I feel really bad about you, you know? But logically, you know, I think, oh, there's a lot of money involved. I'm gonna get into a deal with him, you know? And then the deal doesn't work out. It's just like if we would play a lot, and I say, I know Kevin now for years, we did a podcast, we did this, with this, no problem. My feeling says I can trust this guy, or I can't.
Yeah.
So why would I go into business with somebody that I don't trust?
You have to feel it, not just hear it or say it. You need to feel it.
It's not a logic. It's not a logic. You know?
Yeah, brother. All right. So what I want to do is I want to throw a link to your website I'll have it in the pinned comment, and I'm also going to add it right here, right now. Let me get my thumb right. I'm going to put a link right here. When I edit, it'll make sense.
And we can add the human-centric system relevant document that talks about the 101. That actually
definitely
gives all your listeners, gives them more of awareness. And I promise them that once they understand that their life gets 50% easier.
Dude, I already know, just known you for what, 2 weeks, not even.
Yeah.
So we're going about an hour and 12 minutes, so we will go ahead and conclude here pretty soon. But I want to thank you so much, brother. This relationship doesn't end at the end of this podcast. We'll probably talk for another 3 hours, guys, after this podcast, if Michael has time. So thank you so much, brother.
But 3. What I do is when I go to think, the people keep re-inviting me because they say, I want to do the next. I have so many questions. I need to go dive into this, and I have 60 topics. I talked at 380 guest appearances all over the world. About 60 topics: leadership, teamwork, neurodiversity, art. I mean, literally endless. Money
and with the one-on-one lens on top of that, I think that's where exemplary begins and ends.
That is the thing. It's the thing, because
the exemplary you talked about.
I have no education, right? And I'm working with the whole world on education problems. And because I have no education, that's why I have such a good perspective, because I'm not going through the system relevant ways.
It's just like it's like a Marine, right? I always use the Marine Corps because I love my Marine Corps. There's my little placard right there over there somewhere. So you get a guy that's me, for example, me. I never fired a rifle before I got to Marine Corps recruit training. And we are expected to aim a weapon at a human being and fire and kill that, take that life. You know,
that you don't know. That you don't know.
Exactly.
If your neighbor is killing your daughter and you go and shoot him, is something different.
But they have to train you for that, right? So, but what I've seen is guys that like even my 2 sons are Marines. I think I told you both my sons are Marines. And even when they went through recruit training, when you've never shot a weapon before, you don't get into the systematic pieces out. You don't know any bad habits yet. And the guys that shot the best, like myself, because we never shot before. They didn't have any bad habits. So that's interesting. That kind of falls into what you were saying. And I wish I wish you the best of luck on. Are we going to co-write the book together? 1 of 1.
We will see.
Commit to
I'm saying
I'm putting the pressure on.
No, but Kevin, I wouldn't see it. Why not?
Yeah.
I wouldn't see why not. In the thematic, you know, we have to see. We have to talk about it. But absolutely. Brother. I mean, the title, I'm hooked. You know,
look forward to it, brother.
That's what I'm talking all about.
That just came to me as a vision, and I think it's made. I think God sent that to me, like he does often.
Absolutely.
Hey, brother, thank you so much, man. God bless you. I'm so happy I could finally get you on the show. And we're going to go ahead and cut it off here. And thank you, everybody, for joining. And we will see you in the next episode.
Thank you.
God bless you all. God bless you, Michael.